we built that house in Truro in, I think it was started in 1963. I think we got the lot in 62. And then Doug worked with an architect named Charles Zender, who was the builder. But initially that house it wasn't insulated, really wasn't winterized. It was kind of bare bones. And so as time went by, we were constantly working on it. So it wasn't just the deck in your picture, but this wall or that wall. And I keep thinking about it, but I don't know anything in Doug's background leading up to that point that would have given him construction experience, and as a kid, you don't question things like that. It's just, well, yeah, he knew how to do this or that. And I do know, the only big route I can think of is his minimalist sculpture from the 60s, which, I mean, he would have been building frames for canvas stretching. I still have his canvas stretcher pliers. I love them. But the construction of some of those sculptural pieces that were in the Whitney show, I believe it was the Whitney, the biennial. Those are, there's a lot that went into making them. They're the under structures, plywood and other types of wood, and then it's covered with formica. So, there was a lot of skill involved in making those. But I just have these memories of being 14-ish and being at the dinner table with Dad, and I noticed he would kind of be looking at something off to the side, and he'd keep looking at it. And I'd go, oh God, here we go. And it would be like, no, the next day it would be like, I think we're gonna move that wall, or we're gonna put a window there, or whatever. And then that would be, we'd get it done. And a week later say, that doesn't really work. So it was an ongoing permutations of different things that changed in the house. And then that deck that he's working on was actually a big project. It was extending out, and I really would love to go to the house, which I haven't done, and see what's still there, what survived. And the main thing I think about, though, is that at a certain point, there was a second floor below. It was really more of a basement, but that's where the master bedroom was. And eventually that became Doug's studio. And when we first moved in, there was basically just a big missing chunk of the living room that was the stairs that went down there. And it was like an 4x8 gap in the floor. So at a certain point, he decided that it would be much better to have a spiral staircase that would take up much less room. And he built from scratch the entire, I don't know if you ever saw it, but the entire spiral staircase. And it was really, more than anything, just a beautiful sculpture that, with the stairs were made of wood that all kind of walked down with a 4x4 in the middle. And then it was like being on the inside barrel of the inside of a beautiful barrel with long straps of wood. I mean, they were only about an inch wide, and then they had been stained and probably shellacked or something. It was a beautiful piece. And I don't know if it's survived. It may not have stayed safe. It'd be something nice to get the opportunity to go photograph if it's still there.